Good, good. Thank you for getting up and thanks for coming. Tell Detroit your story. Who wants to start?
He started with him. He started.
All right. Tell them how all of this has transpired. How did you get to be part of this? What happened?
Oh, well, when I was 16,
Yes.
I was playing basketball. Then
You were
I-
16 and you were playing ball. Go ahead.
I had blacked out. So then I went to the hospital, got stitches and stuff because I busted my mouth. The doctors ran some EKGs because they wanted to look at the heart. They said my heart had an irregular heartbeat. And at the time I was young, so they had to ask my parents, like, well, we can let him go on. It's up to you guys, or you can get him a defibrillator now. And then they didn't want to take any chances, so I got a defibrillator at 16. And
Wow.
then, but I continued with my regular life. I said, I felt like it wasn't nothing because it hadn't shocked me. They said, it'll shock you. I'm like, it didn't shock me. So 2-3 years go down the line, I'm playing basketball. I finally finished. I'm getting up. I'm walking off the court. Done. Not tired of nothing. And the defibrillator just shocked me.
Whoa.
When the heart gets too
Worked out.
Yep, and worked harder, and it shocked me. So then time went on. Then it started getting worse. My body started retaining fluids.
Okay.
Then as my body retained fluids, the heart got weaker. So then it was like 2014 when I went into the hospital. Then they said that the best thing for me to make it this far to where I am now, transplanted, I would have to get a total artificial heart. So I lived without a heart. They took my heart out.
You wait a minute. You actually lived without a heart
Yeah. Came home without a heart.
for how long?
555 days.
Wow, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Without a heart.
Without a heart.
Well, what was pumping through your body? What did they give you?
I had a total artificial heart.
Totally artificial heart. So what happens next?
So then, no, the total artificial heart is like some plastic ventricles. I still had an atrium. The atrium was in
Now
there.
you gotta explain to people because most people don't know about ventricles. Well, I do because I was a nurse, but the average lay person doesn't know what ventricles are, and the artificial
So that's
heart,
the plastic part of the plastic
yeah,
heart.
Yeah, that's where the blood pumps out throughout and
Yeah.
goes throughout the body.
Okay, so then what happens?
I had 2 tubes connected me to air compressor, which is in the backpack.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Good. So did you eventually get a real heart?
Yes, I got transplanted May 9th.
Where did you get the heart from?
They didn't say.
But you because of an
I got
organ
it from a donor. Yes.
from a donor,
Yeah.
you were able to get a real heart.
Yes.
Wow, that's a fascinating story.
And I was diagnosed with the same
Heart condition.
heart condition as him. At that time, I had never blacked out or had any symptoms. So when my mom and dad came to me with the idea of, okay, well, this how your life gonna go. You're gonna stop being active, and you're gonna get a defibrillator. Me being, I think I was 15 at the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, I'm good. They like, you don't really have a choice. Your parents made a decision for you, and da. So for the first 3-4 years, I didn't have any episodes or anything, really 5. And I, like me and my mom, we would bump heads, my dad all the time.
Sure.
Had to stop playing basketball. Little stuff as a teenager that you do, a lot of it I didn't get to do. So
Right.
we would have a bump in the head. It wasn't until I was 19 years old when I had my first episode.
And
When I was
what-
walking across the street, it was a summer day. I never forget it. It's like a summer day. Been playing out. We had just left the basketball court, walked to the stove. I'm just walking back from the stove.
Yeah.
And I started feeling lightheaded, and I could have swore I blacked out, but then all I felt was a boom, and I fell in the middle of the street. I never felt no pain like that ever in my life. And so
Ooh.
immediately, my brother, when I got back from the store, my brother's at the house. I'm like, it went off. He's like, what? I'm like, my defibrillator. So he telling me what to do, and he like, you want to go to the hospital? Really, just need some, telling me how to deal with it. And
Right.
so after that, had a few more episodes. I actually was going through something where I blacked out and ended up in the hospital. When I got to the hospital, the doctors was like, well, your heart's only working at 17% and it's not getting any better. So right now we're at the point of transplant, so you got to be here. And so at that time, I'm like, wow, I had just had a son and everything. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So first month go by, I'm like, okay, my heart will be here. Second month go by, my heart will be here. After the second month, my brother actually comes into the hospital having the same problems, but his condition is worse than mine. So now I'm a little more relieved, but even more stressed at the same time because now my brother, we're basically roommates. His room is right here in the ICU. I'm 2 doors down in the ICU. We both waiting for hearts at the same time. Okay, then about a month go by, he tell me, well, they about to do a surgery on me where they take my heart out. I'm like, what? It didn't make sense to me at first, like it did. So he like, yeah. I'm like, you sure you want to do this? He like, I don't really have a choice. Other than that, they say I got less than 90 days to live. I'm like, okay, well then let's do it. And you know, so they did him. It went well. Like I was still in the ICU. They moved to a different floor to the ICU. About 2 weeks later, he come walking down my floor. He got a big old machine. It's like a big blue machine. And so it's the artificial heart. They from wheeling him down. He looking so alive. When I say last time I see my brother, he didn't even want to move or get up. So he looking alive again. And so it was just like, wow.
So why didn't they give it to you immediately?
We're getting to, because my heart wasn't in the position his was in.
His was more deteriorated than his.
But the medicine for me to transplant was actually tearing my heart more. So therefore, after a month and a half of him having it, he come to my room one day, was like, hey, you know you getting the surgery? I'm like, what surgery? He like, yeah, they gonna get your heart too. I'm like, no, they not. They like, they ain't tell you. Oops. Yeah. I'm like, no, he didn't tell me. I asked my doctor, the doctor like, no. He like, well, I just heard from my surgeon, and he said my brother next. So, and I'm like, okay, I was nervous, but I looked at him, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready. I want it.
So the two of you get artificial hearts. Now, do you have a organ transplanted heart?
Yes, I actually got transplanted before him. So, so when I got my, let me finish. I'm sorry. Let me finish this. Once I got my artificial heart, we moved. Now we're back roommates because we moved. Now we're on the same floor in recovery in the other ICU. So now we're in surgery recovery together. Okay, he a month ahead of me, and his progress like my recovery was different from his. It was slower. It took longer. He was a little ahead of me, moving everything. It wasn't so easy for me. And I was trying to get there, but he making steps to where he didn't move from the big machine to the backpack to where he getting ready to go home. And I'm just looking like, wow, must
still
be
struggling.
nice. I'm still sitting. No, I'm just looking like, okay, he came after me. He's on his way home, and I'm still sitting here. It's the
That's
6th, 7th.
amazing
We on about the 5th month now, so it's just like, okay, sooner or later my day's gonna come. Matter of fact, I'm gonna work myself to. That's when I decided, and that's when the best decision I made. I did right. I started eating right, stopped cheating and sneaking around the hospital getting stuff, and I started.
Okay.
It's a process.
So you had contraband. Somebody had contraband.
I ain't gonna say nobody was picking me, 'cause I ain't trying to get nobody in trouble.
Listen, I ain't saying nobody's name, but somebody
found
could have brought it in from the outside.
Yeah,
You know, it could have came
and
from
when
the
I got
outside.
serious and more serious about it, like I say, my recovery was coming. So one day I'm sitting in the room, I'm doing good, getting healthy, and the doctor come, the nurse practitioner, nurse practitioner come in, and she like, I got some news, and I figured in my head, okay, well, I'm finally healthy enough to go to regular floor. Y'all about to get me home. I'm about to go home. Everybody ready on the machine because my brother, we already got trained and everything. Everybody ready. Let's go.
So you're ready for the artificial heart?
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go home on the artificial heart. So I'm like, what? My room's ready. They ready to move me? She like, no, I got better news. And I say, what it is? And she draws out an image and does this. Well, it's a heart shape. I know I'm on the radio. It's a heart shape. And so that moment, I just stopped. And I said, you playing with me? And she like, no, I'm serious. You can call your family, but we just got confirmation your heart is on the way. Stop eating, stop drinking.
Wow.
And this was January 21st, January 22nd, 2015. And after that, I received my transplant. The recovery, like I said, I recovered slower. About a month and a half later, came home. I was 275 pounds.
Really?
I'm 182 pounds today.
Wow. That is, Larkin Brothers, those are amazing stories. So it is important to be a donor.
Yes, it's
very important.
And let me ask you all a question, because this is one of the things that I think a lot of people of color, especially African Americans, struggle with. You could be an organ donor, and because listen, I know most people say, well, you know, listen, you ain't gonna need none of this shell wherever you going, whatever your faith constitutes or believes, you're not gonna need this. Or even if you have children or whatever, you gotta think about it, because there are not enough African Americans that are considering being organ donors.
Well, here's a great reason why.
Absolutely.
The Larkin Brothers.
You got two young men.
That's an
Black young
amazing
men
story.
that were recipients of someone's a heart.
How can people be a giver?
It's very simple and easy. I'm sorry, it's very simple and easy. You can either go to the local the Secretary of State and register there, or you can even go online and register for the information, and they'll send it out through Gift of Life.
Correct.
You can register through them also. It's a lot of different methods and ways.
Easiest way, Secretary of State.
Secretary
You can
of
go
State,
online.
or go online. They'll send it to your house directly.
Gift of
It's-
Life.
and it's very simple.
And you are
and
two
can help-
recipients of the gift of life.
Mhm.
Yes, ma'am.
And you carry it around with you in the event you make your transition.
Let me ask you, is a
director
representative
here.
here? Do you work for one of the organizations?
I work for one of the organizations. I'm the director of the Gift of Life Minority Orientation Trend. Phenomenal story of the Larkins brothers.
Yes.
And again, I can't think of a better reason when people say we don't get, we do get. And two brothers have received the Gift of Life. So
That's
you can
amazing.
sign up, again, as they said, at the Secretary of State's office, or you can go online at giftoflifemichigan.org. Or you can come out on Saturday, July 30th, and sign up at the Gift of Life MOTTEP's 19th annual Life Walk. So
All right, so this is this Saturday.
this is this Saturday at Belle Isle.
The MOTTEP walk will take place at Belle Isle. What time does it start?
7 o'clock. Registration opens at 7 o'clock. The run will begin at 8 o'clock. The walk will begin at 8:30. We have a phenomenal program that's planned. You'll meet persons like the Larkins brothers, other donor family members, recipients, people that are waiting. Henry Ford, U of M have helped to really spearhead this particular effort. And so we have a fun kids run. We have a kids fun run, I should say, where again, a young man who is the brother of a donor family is going to be there. And so our kids fun run is going to happen for kids 12 and under.
Good.
There'll be massages, food, you name it, we have it.
That's excellent. Belle Isle, Saturday morning.
7
Yes.
o'clock.
7 o'clock.
a.m.
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
beautiful. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming in. Ms. Chapman, the Larkin brothers, we appreciate the information.
Yes,
It is
yes.
important to give the gift of life. 105.9 KISS.